This man does not seem to me to have what we would normally think of as a soul. He has an open sore.
That, of course, is the late, great Bill Moyer, discussing none other than, of course, damaging, denigrating, dysfunctional, and deranged Donald Trump in this breaking story. And you have got to see that. I'm going to show it to you in a few seconds, because Bill does very clearly state exactly what we're dealing with. This.
Donald Trump has given a big bullhorn to some of the most malevolent furies in American life. I've now decided he is the malevolent fury. Everything antagonizes him. He's constantly at war with everybody, and he degrades everything around him.
Because in this story, the destruction that Donald Trump, the cruelty that he expresses towards not only people that don't look like him or that don't pat him on the head, but also and especially when it comes to children. And a little bit on that comes from his niece, Mary Trump.
During the Trump presidency, it was called too much and never enough.
I feel, as I write in the book, that there are so many parallels between the circumstances in which my family operated and in which this country is now operating.
It was a bestseller for lots of reasons. I think in part because it satisfied a lot of people's curiosity about, like, who is Donald Trump?
I saw firsthand what focusing on the wrong things, elevating the wrong people can do, the collateral damage that can be created by allowing somebody to live their lives without accountability.
As I commonly say in life, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And the how of what Donald Trump is doing and what he's doing in this breaking story is why it's so necessary. We have to push back every single time. Keep going.
So why did you write this book?
In the interval between living the experiences and writing about them, became a trained clinical psychologist. I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder from trauma that occurred when I was a child that I write about.
You do clearly feel that the Trump family, it's almost like a metaphor for the country. How is it that you see that the way the Trump family operates and the role that he's played in making it that way?
The psychological destruction of what Donald Trump is doing is based in
my family, only one person mattered. My grandfather was the one who mattered, and he chose Donald to be the only other one who could matter. Everything was a zero-sum game. Only one person could win. Everybody else had to lose.
And why what happened in this breaking story is so absolutely important. More of this.
And we see that. Cruelty was a currency in my family. Kindness was considered weakness. That's where we are now.
And as I show you this breaking story, I give Bill Moyer the final word.
He is the malevolent fury that is attempting to provide a return to many of the practices and behaviors that we have spent 250 years overcoming.
He is destroying what is 279 years worth of effort. And in this breaking story, he will continue to try and destroy it. But thank goodness there are judges who actually block his cruel actions toward children. Check this story out.
Trump blocked by judge hours before deporting 600 unaccompanied children. U.S. District Court Judge Sparkle L. Suknanen issued a temporary restraining order blocking President Donald Trump's government from deporting 600 unaccompanied Guatemalan children. In an emergency ruling on Sunday, Suknanen said that the temporary restraining order was warranted because plaintiffs satisfied the 4 factors governing the issuance of preliminary relief. The order came just hours before the deportations were expected to take place. A lawsuit filed by the National Immigration Law Center argued that unaccompanied children were exempt from expedited deportation. All unaccompanied children, regardless of the circumstances of their arrival to the United States, receive the benefit of full immigration proceedings, including a hearing on claims for relief before an immigration judge, attorneys for the children wrote. Defendants' actions are thus exposing children to multiple harms in returning them to a country where they fear persecution and by flouting their legal obligations to care for them in the United States. The Trump administration described the plan as a first-of-its-kind pilot program.
You get that quote from Trump? It's kind of like a pilot program. He thinks he's just rolling out a marketing scheme or something. Listen, again, I say it all the time. I am 1,000% for legal immigration. I'm 1,000% for everyone being here within our laws. Temporary visa, whatever it may be, HB1B, job, whatever it may be. I'm all for it. However, you have millions of people who happen to have light skin from Australia, Canada, the UK, various parts of Europe, the Middle East, and especially Russia. And you don't see ICE ripping them out of homes. You don't see ICE ripping them away from their job. You don't see ICE ripping their children from them. That's what we don't see. And that's an example of everything that Donald Trump is about, is I will be extremely cruel. And as Mary said, only one person can win. But Trump is such a weak human, he'll only do it to the most vulnerable, because he sure as hell can't stand up like a man to Vladimir Putin. Hope you guys have a good holiday weekend. Stay frosty.